Middlebury, where the two teams who have dominated the Northern Lakes Conference over the last decade come head-to-head tonight. It's the Warsaw Tigers and the Northridge Raiders on the 46th game of the week. And how you doing, everybody? Happy 2020 with my Hall of Fame partners, Bob Nagel and Bo Hunt. It's Chuck Freeby. Great to have you with us. Hope to have an exciting night of high school basketball for you here on TV 46. No team was happier to see the 20 teams than the Warsaw Tigers. They won the Northern Lakes Conference 6 times during that decade. As they go into 2020, they're 8-2 overall. But they do it kind of like the sky tonight on this rainy night in January. There's no stars. They're the Gene Hackman team, 5 players acting together as one.
And that's the way it's always been under Doug Ogle, and the program has been so solid. That's what goes into the new decade, is the fact that the Warsaw Tigers know how to work that team unit, and they have to. They've got some really good athletes on this team, names that have carried over from the football field in large part. But Jalen Kuhn is an outstanding big man, can score. Marsh gives them a good guy in the backcourt. And they're going to have to rely on the role players. I think both teams will have that challenge tonight of getting the role players to step up.
Well, Northridge does have a couple of stars. They've got Alex Stauffer, who's going to Indiana Wesleyan. They have an outside shooter in Sam Smith, but they've been a little bit inconsistent so far. Part of that is the schedule. They've played 8 of their first 10 on the road. They're hoping some home cooking does some fixing for them tonight.
Well, there's a lot of good home cooking here in Middlebury, that's for sure, like right across the street. But the one thing about this team, they do have the 2 stars, but the Stolfus brothers are going to be a big part of the game tonight. And I think the other thing that they're going to count on is a young man named Nepp, who is a good athlete. And again, you're going to be seeing Warsaw maybe overplaying a little bit on the big guy, maybe getting out on the wing to take care of Sam Smith, but the other guys are going to have opportunities.
Bo Hunt working the sidelines with us tonight. You might not recognize him. He's that tan right now, coming back from Florida. But we've got a very contrasting style tonight between a Northridge team that likes to run, a Warsaw team that's very good in the half court. Who's it easier for to control the tempo in a game like this?
I think when you look at the control, it's controlling the basketball. And if you're able to not turn the ball over and make shots, it's easier to control that tempo. If you like to get up and down the floor, if you're making those shots up and down the floor, it's easier to control that tempo. But if you're missing those shots, a team that likes to slow it down a little bit, control that basketball, they're able to control that. So it's more of that offensive efficiency. Who's able to do that better is able to control the tempo of the game.
We got a lot more to talk about as we get you ready for this one with the Middlebury Community Schools pregame show and the Jordan Automotive Keys to Win. They come your way next on the 46th game of the week.
This is the WHME TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week. Brought to you by Interra Credit Union, South Bend Orthopedics, Bill's Heating, Jordan Automotive Group, Teachers Credit Union, IU South Bend, Electrical Workers Local 153, Crown Trophy, Imagineering Finishing Technology, and the IHSAA.
And this edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you by the Jordan Automotive Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. That'll hardly be the case tonight in Middlebury as Northridge and Warsaw get together in this Northern Lakes Conference clash. Time now for the Middlebury Community Schools pregame show featuring the Jordan Automotive Keys to Win. Let's start by looking at the Warsaw Tigers. In the backcourt, they're guided by Blake Marsh. The 5'11 senior scores a little over 10 points a game, but not only is he their leading scorer, he's leader in assists and rebounds as well, even though he's only 5'11. But he gets plenty of help, and when they need it on the inside and somewhat on the outside, Jalen Kuhn has stepped up, the 6'4 senior, averaging 9 points and 3 rebounds a game, and he leads the team with 14 three-pointers. The keys to win for Doug Ogle and the Tigers.
Well, transition defense is going to be big, and that's another place where Blake Marsh can help you. He's a very quick defender. Number 2, they got to keep the Raiders off the line. It's a very good free throw shooting team here at Northridge, and they have an attack mentality. Warsaw is one of those teams that a lot of times like to sit back, take their time with a shot, but if they get a chance, you get an opportunity, Doug Ogle wants them to go to the basket. Doug Ogle is 18 seasons into his head coaching career, 270 wins, 133 in the loss column.
I mean, I read this week that the last 7 years in the Northern Lakes Conference, either Warsaw or Northridge has been the champion or shared in it. So that means tonight's game might be pretty important. But I think between Northwood and Goshen, Memorial is capable. Wawasee is playing well. Plymouth beat Northwood. I think you better be ready to go when you know, for a conference game this year for sure. So we're very excited to be here and glad to be part of WHME's broadcast tonight.
Oh, we're glad to have you, Doug, and we're glad to be here in Middlebury as well, where they have a fabulous inside-outside combination. On the inside, they look for the big fella, Alex Stauffer, the 6'7" senior down for Indiana Wesleyan, and a center this year has done a terrific job of scoring about 15 points, 8 rebounds a game. Excellent free throw shooter as well. When they want to go outside, they turn to Sam Smith. He's actually the leading scorer on the team, 6-foot junior, hitting at 17.3 points a game, had a career-high 31 against Fort Wayne Blackhawk, and he has hit 6 threes in each of his last 2 games. The keys to win for Scott Radiker and the Raiders.
Got to be real careful not to give up any second chances tonight, because Warsaw loves an offensive rebound. It keeps the possession alive. They got to communicate on defense. They were working on that in practice this week. A lot of communication, a lot of intensity in defense, and they have to rely on the 6th man. Now, both these clubs has some depth, but whoever has the best 6th man could be a big factor in tonight's game. So Scott Radiker is in his 2nd season here at Northridge, but in 19 seasons as a head coach, 241 wins, 182 losses.
Well, first starts on the boards for us. We have to keep them off the boards. They're very aggressive with 3 or 4 kids going to the boards on every shot. And our kids have to get bodies on people and go attack the basketball. Then in the half court, I'd like to see us get out and run, see what we can get early in transition, because they're really good at half-court defense. If we do get stuck in the half court, we're going to have to be patient and work to get the shots we want. It's not going to come easy in the half court.
Well, the stage is set here in Middlebury. The players are ready. It's Act 2 of the Northern Lakes Conference season. Both these teams at 1-0 in the NLC. Those have been your Jordan Automotive keys to win. On the Middlebury Community Schools pregame show, the tip-off is next on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you by Interra Credit Union. We get it, because we live here too. Crowd has just settled back into its seats after a rousing rendition of the national anthem, and now the starting lineup's being introduced for both sides. We'll do it too. Here's Bob Nagel.
Well, thank you very much, Chuck, and Happy New Year again to everybody. Here's the starting lineup. First of all, for the Warsaw Tigers, Blake Marsh will start at a guard. He's a 5'11 senior. Luke Adamick will be a forward. He's a 6'4 junior, wears number 5. Also in that lineup, Wyatt Amos. He's a guard at 5'11 and a senior. He's wearing number 10. Number 13, Bishop Walters at a guard, 5'11 junior. And Jalen Kuhn is the man inside. Number 15, he's a 6'4 senior forward. Now for the Northridge Raiders, their lineup brought to you by Ruley's of Middlebury. And boy, I tell you, they did a great job feeding our crew tonight. We appreciate that very much. Number 12 was Carter Stolfus. He's a 5'11 junior. He'll start at a guard. And also at a guard, Clay Stolfus. He's a 5'8 junior, wears number 14. Carter wears number 12. Cameron Knepp wears number 24. He's a forward, 6'3 senior. Sam Smith, got to watch him on the outside, outstanding shooter, 6' junior. He'll wear number 30. And the big man inside doesn't need a number, he needs a license plate. Alex Stauffer wears number 50. He's a 6'7 senior, headed to Indiana Wesleyan. And that starting lineup again brought to you by Ruley's of Middlebury.
Great atmosphere here in Middlebury for this one. This is a rivalry that dates back into the late 1980s. Warsaw has dominated the series, leading it 30-7. But the last meeting was the one that won the sectional for the Northridge Raiders as they beat Warsaw 59-46 back on March 2nd of last season. The officials tonight A group from out of this area. We're not familiar with their work, but we're looking forward to seeing the calls from Tom Newhart, Victor Canales, and Donald Reynolds. And of course, we've mentioned before the IHSA with a shortage of officials, so if you're interested in helping out the game, and so many of you do it so well from the stands, you might as well get paid for it. We invite you to sign up and get licensed as an IHSA official.
And if you look good in stripes, well, they'd love to have you. Warsaw in their road black uniforms with orange and white trim, white numbers. Northridge in their home white uniforms with green numbers, green and gold trim, and we're ready to jump it up. Here to call the action, my partner, Chuck Freebie.
The opening tip brought to us by our friends at Southwind Flooring, and it's won by the Northridge Raiders, who come in with a record of 5-5 after 3 straight losses. Carter Stoltzfus gets the first 3 points of the game, sponsored by the Essen House. Warsaw is 8-2 on the year. They're coming off a loss to Culver Academy on Tuesday night, a game they lost 55-47. Their best win was their conference triumph over their Kosciuszko County rival Wawasee. And at the other end, it's Bishop Walters for 3, sponsored by Grace Village Retirement Community. So both teams come out sniping from the outside, something both of them do very well.
Carter Stoltzfus was getting a lot of attention from Doug Ogle in Warsaw's practice, and we see why. He's got a lot of respect for him as a shooter.
Stoltzfus with the nice kick-out pass. Stauffer underneath for 2. Alex Stauffer off a pretty feed from Clay Stoltzfus. Stauffer before the game said he thinks Clay Stoltzfus may be the most basketball smart player on the team. It showed on that pass.
Sure did.
Inside, Luke Adamek airballs it, and the rebound comes down to Northridge. The foul called on Adamek, his first. Reminder, our first quarter tonight being watched by our friends at Stutzman Power Equipment. The Stoltzfus brothers, both pretty good soccer players as well, handle the ball outside. That's Clay getting the start tonight because of an ankle injury to Drew Gaylor. This is Carter Stoltzfus on the baseline for 2. Northridge has had problems with good starts in games. That's not the case tonight.
No, they're executing very well and run a lot of 3-man game because they got the big guy inside, they've got Smith outside, and then they got the ball to add.
Wyatt Amos missing there, and at the other end, the miss by Cam Knepp of Northridge. Here comes Warsaw with the basketball. Bishop Walters' foul line jumper may have been blocked by Smith. Jordan Kuhn's reverse layup is good. Kuhn on the offensive glass, and that was a concern for Scott Radiker coming in.
Nice job getting position and going strong to the basket there by Kuhn.
Sam Smith, who's likely to launch from anywhere. Stauffer at the top of the key. Carter Stoltzfus drives. Wild off-balance shot is no good. The rebound by Walters, and now here's Blake Marsh running for Warsaw all the way. His scoop no good. Stauffer, the big fellow, with the rebound. Radiker wants to push the tempo with the Raiders. They've done that in the first 2.5 minutes.
First 3 shots of the night went in. Not so much since then.
Oh, they call a charge on Alex Stauffer. The big fella crashing into Wyatt Amos. And Amos clapping his hands, perhaps for his work as a thespian. You'll get another look from SBO.
Give him an award. It is award season, by the way, but there was enough of a bump to get him to go down. And
that was Golden Globe worthy right there, folks.
It really was. Stauffer looked up like, you got to be kidding me.
Now Warsaw with a chance to tie or take the lead. Ben Bergen into the game for the Tigers. He's number 41. Down low for Keegan Larsh. Couldn't hang on, but Amos gets it on the baseline. He had a huge game against Northridge last year. Larsh had it knocked away. Collision, the ball out of bounds to Northridge.
Pretty good collision down there. Good no call by the official. They're going to let it play out, and the ball goes over to Northridge.
The Northridge football coach, Tom Wogeman, right down there along the baseline. Would have loved that.
Pretty good contact.
7-5 Raiders as we approach the midway point of quarter number 1. Camden Knepp. They want Stauffer down on the block, but he's double teamed. Northridge trying to figure out this defense. Now they got the one-on-one matchup with Stauffer going against Keegan Larson. He just backed him down and drew the foul.
Keegan Larson wasn't in the starting lineup. Thing is, they bring him in because he's a very physically strong young man, a little undersized for Stauffer, but strong enough to try to push him away, keep him away from the basket. But Stauffer's seen that before.
Well, that's the problem the entire Warsaw team has going against Alex Stauffer, 82% free throw shooter who rattles home the first. By the way, the free throws are sponsored by Joyfully Said Home. As you see Warsaw going to the bench, they can go to the bench all night long. They don't have anybody that matches up physically with Alex Stauffer. Big fella committed to Indiana Wesleyan, knocks them both home. You'll meet him at halftime, one of our TCU student athletes of the week. Ben Bergen handles the ball. He was brought up from the JV midway through the season. Now Luke Adamek trying to work against Stauffer, and he lost it out of bounds. Stauffer fired up over the defensive effort by the Raiders.
A couple of turnovers for the Warsaw Tigers here in the early going.
Stauffer said this team needs to find a way to get fired up over things other than three-pointers. He's trying to be a leader in that here tonight early on. Kicks it outside where Carter Stoltzfus buries the three. It's sponsored the Essen House. Stoltzfus with 8 in the first quarter. It's 12-5. Northridge and Doug Elko wants a timeout. It's sponsored by the Wagon Wheel Theater. 3:34 to go in the first, and the Raiders come out hot. This edition of the 46th Game of the Week brought to you in part by IU South Bend, fulfilling the promise.
Folks, check out wagonwheelcenter.org for upcoming shows and the summer season. Shows include The Wizard of Oz, Guys and Dolls, and much more. Go to wagonwheelcenter.org. All shows and ticket information available there.
Scott Radiker's coat lasted 4 minutes and 26 seconds in this game. He's taking it off because it's hot in here, and we're not just talking about the shooting of Northridge in the early going.
I was waiting to see if the fire marshal went over and got a hold of Carter Stoltzfus. You know, there's no smoking allowed in the arena, and he is smoking right now.
Meanwhile, Adamek throws the inbounds pass away, and Northridge will get the ball underneath their offensive basket with a 7-point lead already.
Warsaw worked on that long pass in practice the other day, and it was thrown away a couple times there. Thought they'd try it again.
Inbounds pass to Knepp. Stauffer playing outside, gets a screen, but had nowhere to go.
Stauffer's a pretty good playmaker as well. He knows the value of a good pass.
Handoff to Sam Smith. He works his way inside for the bucket and the bump. Smith so good at drawing contact, and he'll do it here on the SBO replay against Wyatt Amos. The first on Amos, and Smith, a 75% foul shooter, goes to the line for free throws by Joyfully Said Home.
Chance for a double-figure lead early on here for Northridge.
And that's what they have, and Northridge will go to the bench and bring Clay Stoltzfus back in to take the place of Smith after he scores his first 3 points. Full court pressure applied by Northridge. Ben Bergen was able to break it well. Warsaw has not been able to get its offense on track tonight. This ball-hawking defense fouls here as Carter Stoltzfus is called for the push.
He is first. Folks, Middlebury Community Schools, a top-achieving school district, inspiring students to change the world. Middlebury Community Schools, where achievement and innovation are hallmarks of a great education.
Blake Marsh on the dribble. Ben Bergen outside. He's guarded by Trevor Brown. Good man-to-man so far by Northridge, and they make another steal. The Stoltzfus brothers in the backcourt.
4 turnovers for the Warsaw Tigers already.
This is a Northridge team that shoots 43% from three-point range, but why do that when you got the big fella Stauffer? He has 6. Scott Radiker really encouraging his defense. They have had problems with this in the past. A foul called here. It's going to be on Clay Stoltzfus. The diminutive junior gets his first.
Thought you were talking about our producer director.
Hey now.
Hey now.
And a timeout called by Warsaw. It's sponsored by the Wagon Wheel Theater. We'll keep it here.
Ruli's of Middlebury is proud to support Northridge Athletics. Ruli's is a family dining Italian-American restaurant offering a full menu including pastas, entrees, and pizza. Visit them at rulispizza.com or at either one of their 2 locations in Middlebury across from the high school or in Elkhart on County Road 17. A big thank you goes out to Ruli's for the great job of feeding our TV crew tonight. Go Northridge Raiders from the team at Ruli's.
Everybody agreed that was good pizza and pasta tonight, and everybody agrees that Northridge and Warsaw have been the kings of the Northern Lakes Conference for the last 7 seasons. You heard Doug Ogle allude to this in the pregame interview. At least one of these teams has won a share, if not outright, the NLC title, and for the last 4 years, it's been Warsaw shared with Northridge last year.
Well, a 12-point lead early on. Chuck has the Northridge Raiders on track to score about 65, 70 points. We thought if it was over 50, it would be an advantage for Northridge. Under 50 would be an advantage for Warsaw. Right now, the Tigers got to find a way to slow down Carter Stoltzfus and Northridge Raiders.
Bo Hunt with a quick Bills Heating sideline report. And Bo, I don't know about you, but I'm equally impressed with the defense I'm seeing. You're right down there where Northridge is playing defense. Talk about their effort on the D.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things. It's just the pressure they're putting on, and it's not just in the half court, it's in the full court. They're really getting Warsaw out of rhythm, and I think that's the biggest thing with this Warsaw Tiger team is they're just out of rhythm right now.
Ben Bergen trying to direct traffic inside with less than 2 minutes left first quarter. Luke Adamek's jumper is good. Adamek with his first points of the night. He averages 9 a game.
Third player in the scoring column for Warsaw. 3 also for Northridge.
Clay Stoltzfus was open for 3, couldn't connect. Trevor Brown saves the rebound to Sam Smith. Brown down low to Stauffer. Here's Knepp driving the baseline and threw it away. He got trapped underneath. Bergen as the Tigers want to run, and Smith called for the foul.
Sam Smith has his first. Folks, put your tax refund to good use at Southwind Flooring, the perfect foundation for your dream. See their wide selection of carpet, ceramic tile, vinyl, laminate, and hardwood flooring at their showroom in Shipshewana or online at southwindflooring.com.
Ben Bergen at the foul line has not missed from there this year. His free throw sponsored by Reinhold's Town Square Furniture. As you see, Jalen Kuhn check back into the game for Warsaw. Bergen has played in 3 games since being called up from the JV. He's averaging almost 4 points and 2 rebounds a game. He scored 8 in his varsity debut against Kokomo. Rattles that one out, and Stauffer goes high for the rebound. Smith for 3. It's sponsored by the Essen House. Sam Smith with his 37th three-pointer of the season. Adamek turns and finds Bergen outside. Now Kuhn with the push-off.
A lot of candidates for acting awards here tonight.
Kuhn came up with the elbow pretty well this time, though. As you see, he put that thing right into Clay Stoltzfus.
Kuhn has his first foul.
And so Northridge tries to build on an early 12-point lead. Now remember, they led East Noble 22-8 in their last game and wound up losing that one as well. So it can escape in a hurry for the Raiders if they're not careful. I don't know if Northridge will hold for the last shot here or not. Some real hand-to-hand combat going on between Amos and Smith. Looks like Northridge is patient enough to hold for one here.
Not a bad idea when you've got that early big lead.
It's Carter Stoltzfus on the dribble. Stauffer down on the block. Big fella couldn't hit that one. The rebound to Marsh, and his full court heave hits the ceiling, and the first quarter comes to an end here in Middlebury, where the Northridge Raiders relied on the outside shooting of Carter Stoltzfus and the inside play of Alex Stauffer, and they take a 20-8 lead after one on 46. This edition of the TV46 High School Basketball Game of the Week brought to you in part by South Bend Orthopedics, team physicians for the University of Notre Dame since 1947. Let's warm you up with the Bills Heating Sideline Report. Bo Hunt working from the sidelines tonight. What you see in that first quarter?
One of the things that Northridge really was concerned about coming into tonight was their ability to rebound, and I think that's one of the biggest difference in that first half, or that first quarter as well, was not giving Warsaw any second chance points. They really hit the board hard and really were able to shut down that Warsaw offense. I mean, and the other thing was Northridge hit their shots. I mean, I'm not sure what their field goal percentage was, but I'm sure Bob would tell us they shot pretty well in that first quarter, guys.
They did, Bo. They were 7 out of 11 from the field, 63%. Warsaw 50%, but they only got 6 shots off in that first quarter. It had a lot to do with turnovers and the intensity defensively and the length. I'm really impressed with the length of this Northridge squad.
2-1-2 zone here by Northridge. Bishop Walters airballs the three, but Wyatt Amos came up with the loose change. Jalen Kuhn for 2 hits. Jalen Kuhn with his second basket of the game. He's had 3 games in double figures this year, and he gets Warsaw into double figures with that hoop. Carter Stoltzfus cross-court pass knocked away. It went off the hands of his brother Clay. It'll be Warsaw ball.
Third turnover of the game for Northridge. Warsaw guilty of 5.
Now, if you're Warsaw, you notice Alex Stauffer over on the bench here to start the second quarter. Maybe you look to attack inside a little bit. Blake Jacobs, the 6'4 sophomore, is in the game right now for Northridge, trying to give them some size.
Keegan Larsh is out of the lineup right now, and I think if he was in there, you'd also see Stauffer still in there.
Well, you got Jalen Kuhn in there, who 6'4 gives you some height. Walters lost the handle going up, and Jacobs lost the handle on the floor. Walters to Adamek, and the big fella takes it in, but missed the layup. Amos puts it back up and in on the offensive rebound. Wyatt Amos with his first basket, and here's Warsaw chiseling away.
One of those big stats for Warsaw, always the offensive rebounds.
Kuhn on the turnover. And Walters missed the layup, but he was fouled from behind by Clay Stoltzfus, his second. And this is not a very deep Northridge team, so they do have to be concerned with foul trouble, as you'll get another look on the SBO replay.
Carter Stoltzfus off to a good start tonight. He's got 8 points in the first quarter. But Clay has not scored, missed his only shot, and he's got 2 fouls.
Bishop Walters at the line hits the first. His free throw sponsored by Reinhold's Town Square Furniture. Walters is 67% foul shooter, as you see Alex Stauffer come back in after that brief respite, which allowed Warsaw to get back in the game. Walters makes both foul shots. He has 5 to lead the Tigers. And the lead is now down to 6. Stauffer, one-on-one with Adamek.
When you're down by a big margin, you always want your team to be patient and trying to come back, and Warsaw certainly can.
This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you in part by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV 46 for over 30 years.
Stutzman Power Equipment, where you can get the tools and equipment for all your outdoor needs, specializing in Kubota, Steel, Toro, Simplicity, and Skag. Check them out online at stutzmanpower.com. Stutzman Power Equipment, where service is their #1 product, proud to support high school athletics.
And sponsoring our second quarter tonight. Alex Stauffer inside, works hard and gets 2. Stauffer very patient on the inside. Tends to go left on that first move. A lot of the times that's because he's set up on the right block. Amos rattles home another 3. He had 5 last year against Northridge. It's sponsored by Grace Village Retirement Community. Smith answers at the other end. That's sponsored by the Essen House.
Wow.
Back to a 5-point game.
Nice answer there for Smith.
Adamek wants to go baseline and does for 2. He went right around Stauffer. Smith with a dangerous pass.
Stauffer with that 1 foul early wants to make sure he doesn't get another one here in the first half if he can avoid it. Once you get the ball inside, he does have to back off a little bit.
Camden Knapp made a beautiful pass, but Carter Stoltzfus couldn't finish. At the other end, a blocking foul called on Clay Stoltzfus, his 3rd. And now Scott Radiker has to go to his bench and send in Trevor Brown.
Well, we saw in that starting lineup tonight that they had to make a change. Originally, they had another player in that starting lineup.
Drew Gaylor, but he's out with the ankle injury.
Gaylor is not 100%. The coach doesn't want to risk it.
Meanwhile, on the drive, Marsh laid it up no good. Stauffer starts the break. Raiders by 3. Cross court, wide open, Trevor Brown. Short, rebound, and a foul called on the floor against Warsaw.
First shot of the night for Brown.
Foul's going to be on Wyatt Amos. That's his 2nd. Inbound to Sam Smith, and he couldn't bury that 3. The rebound to Amos. Warsaw could tie with a bomb, but the pass knocked out of bounds by Carter Stoltzfus.
Visit Market at the Mill in Middlebury. Situated in a quaint old mill, joyfully said home. The Mustard Seed Marketplace and Objects Antiques are stocked with handcrafted wood signs, modern farmhouse decor, jewelry, apparel, antiques, and more. Stop by the mill and shop our latest finds and new arrivals. That's the Market at the Mill in Middlebury.
How about Brock Poe coming off the bench for his first basket of the night? Warsaw has cut it down to a 1-point Northridge lead. Stoltzfus tried to restock it, but missed from outside. Amos lost the handle. Smith comes up with the steal. Sam Smith. Now Trevor Brown. 3 minutes to go, first half. Stauffer, we've got a whistle and a travel called on Alex Stauffer.
4 turnovers now for Northridge, 6 for Warsaw. That number has come back to favor the Tigers a little bit. The other thing is Warsaw has 7 shots already here in the second quarter, 6 for Northridge.
Clay Stoltzfus comes back in to give Sam Smith a breather, but remember, Clay Stoltzfus is playing with 3 fouls, so let's see if they try to go at him here. Warsaw has been rotating a lot of people in off the bench to try to take advantage of Northridge's lack of depth. Jalen Kuhn outside.
Big possession right here for Warsaw.
And the Tigers being patient. Blake Marsh saw that body of Stauffer right in front of him and said, I can't shoot it. Stoltzfus the steal. He'll go the distance. Carter Stoltzfus with some great anticipation there.
Warsaw kind of ran out of options with that offense they had set up.
Now Marsh. Poe looks for somewhere to go. Really bullying Knepp, and he went right through him with the elbow. You'll see it again on the SBO replay. Once, twice, and the second one really got the job done.
Bart Curtis recruiting football players for next year.
So Northridge up by 3 with 1:45 to go here in the first half. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, our TCU Net Student Athletes of the Week.
Warsaw Tigers have tightened up that defense a little bit here in the second quarter.
And Warsaw with the deflection there to knock the ball out of bounds.
Folks, think Pyramid Equipment for your snowplow needs. Sales, services, and installations of residential and commercial grade snowplows, parts, and salt spreaders. Pyramid offers military, police, and fireman discounts. Find us at PyramidEquipmentInc.com.
Brock Poe called for the hold on Sam Smith, and it's 1 in the bonus for Smith as he goes to the line for the second time tonight. The free throws sponsored by Joyfully Said Home. Sam with a brother Hank that plays at Grace College. The Lancers tied for the lead of the Crossroads League after their win over Bethel on Wednesday night. Sam, a big IU fan, looking forward to that IU-Ohio State game tomorrow on 103.1. Hits them both. He's got 11 to lead the Raiders tonight.
Speaking of the Grace Lancers, their former head coach is in the house tonight.
Jim Kessler sitting in the front row, right across from the Warsaw bench.
His grandson, one of the top B team players for Warsaw.
Jalen Kuhn with the 3. It's sponsored by Grace Village Retirement Community. That's his 15th 3 of the year to lead the Tigers. Stoltzfus topside triple finds a home. It's sponsored by the Essen House. Carter with 13.
Well, when you look at the numbers coming in, Chuck, you expect Carter Stoltzfus to play well, but he's playing great tonight.
He only averages 10.5 points a game. Bishop Walters for 3. The iron unkind. Here comes Camden Knepp. Let's see if Northridge will hold for the last shot with 35 seconds to go in the stanza. The Raiders led 20-8 after 1. Warsaw got the lead down to as little as 1 here in the second quarter. Northridge trying to up this 5-point cushion as they go to the locker room. It's Stoltzfus on the drive, dumping it for Stalker. And the first half comes to an end with Scott Radiker's team headed to the locker room with a 7-point lead. Let's go down to Bo Hunt for a Bills Heating sideline report as he's got Warsaw coach Doug Ogle in his sights.
Coach, first quarter and second quarter were completely different. What was the intensity level for your kids out there?
Northridge gets off to fast starts. I mean, they just seem to, about every game, they get off to a fast start tonight. So, I don't know, it was 17-5 maybe, and then we started playing better. And for about 6 minutes there, and then the last couple minutes of this second quarter, not as well, and they made us pay. So, they're shooting well. They're playing really well. And we should feel pretty good. We're only down 7.
Thanks,
honestly.
Coach.
Yeah.
Back to you guys.
All right, stick around, folks. Coming up at halftime on our Middlebury Community Schools halftime report, it's our TCU Student Athletes of the Week and halftime stats and highlights. Wyatt Amos drilled a couple of threes in the second to keep it close, but it's Northridge by 7 at the break on 46.
welcome you back to Northridge High School. We're at halftime. We have a chance to honor our Student Athletes of the Week. Brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online at tcunet.com, and you can find out how you can become a member today. We have some great representatives of their schools with us today. Alex Stauffer is with us from Northridge High School, and Caleb Sands joins us from Warsaw High School. And Caleb, we'll talk to you first. Congratulations on being singled out for this award, not only for what you're doing in the classroom and on the basketball floor, but just for being an outstanding person. And everybody's really proud of you at Warsaw.
Yeah, thank you. It means a lot to receive the award and the coach to choose me for it, and put a lot of time in on the court and at home and in the school.
I'm going to say at home you're involved, your family's involved in farming, so you only have to plan on working from sun up to sundown, right?
Yeah, that's about it. It's a tough job.
And you're involved in 4-H, you're very busy with that. And you're playing basketball. It's the only sport you're involved with at Warsaw, but you've done a great job here. Talk about what it's been like being part of that program.
It's amazing how much history it has, and I mean, my uncles, a bunch of my family members have played here, and it just means a lot to play for Coach Ogle and just the staff, and just means a lot.
Terrific. Talk about what you want to do now. I understand you haven't chosen a college, but that's in your plans. You want to get into being an accountant or in business?
Yeah, I'm not sure what I want to study, but I'm interested in sports medicine or something in the ag field, and just stay close to sports.
Good idea for you and everybody involved. Talk about the people on your team at home and at school that have had your back.
Yeah, a bunch of my teammates, I can't thank them enough. I mean, they've pushed me in practice, and they've been like through tough times. I mean, they've been jokes and stuff, and my parents have helped me out a lot with my studies, and my dad's helped me out with many things, just helped me out with basketball during the off season, getting stronger and improving from last season. So I can't thank them enough.
That's terrific. Congratulations on your success and best wishes in the future.
Thank you, sir.
Caleb Sands from Warsaw High School, our Student Athlete of the Week. And Alex Stauffer, where'd you go? Oh, there he is up there. You know, it's not very often that I get a guest that's taller than I am, but it's all right with me and with your coach, by the way. He's happy that you're about 6'8". Talk about your involvement. You're involved with basketball and golf.
Yeah, so I've been playing basketball since I was a little kid. It's always been my first true love. I kind of got involved with golf a little bit this summer and last summer a little bit, and just, I guess, kind of inspired me. I'm going to try out this year and see how it goes and everything. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a great sport to play not only in school but after school. Kind of have something to do on Wednesdays. Talk about what you want to study in college and where you want to go.
I'm going to Indiana Wesleyan, and I'm going to study business finance. I really like everything with economics, and it really interests me, so that's kind of what I'm planning on doing.
Great. What else are you involved with at Warsaw, at Warsaw Northridge, other than just basketball and golf?
So I do a little bit with our Raiders for Christ. We do a little, like, every Wednesday morning and stuff where we meet and stuff like that. But, yep, that's about it, and just a lot of academics and stuff.
That's great. And you've got a wonderful team behind you. Talk about the people who have had your back and helped you be successful.
Yeah, all my teammates have been there for me. This season has been kind of up and down. We definitely have just stayed together and fought well together and just kept competing and everything, too.
I know it's after Christmas, but you still should mention Mom and Dad.
Yeah, definitely. My parents and my family have helped me a long way, too. Grandma and Grandpa, and my grandma Stauffer, too. So, yeah.
There you go. You got everybody in. Congratulations and best wishes.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. We're outstanding representatives, as always. Alex Stauffer from Northridge High School and Caleb Sands from Warsaw High School. We remind you to go online at tcunet.com, find out how you can become a member today. TCU sponsors our Student Athletes of the Week. We'll be back with some halftime stats and highlights in just a moment. You're watching the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week.
This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned. Our Middlebury Community Schools halftime report continues here from the Raider Gym as Northridge has a 34-27 lead on Warsaw. They're honoring some of the youth basketball teams here tonight in Middlebury, but what they've seen so far is a very entertaining first half.
Boy, it really is. And Chuck, how many times did somebody knock down a three only to have the other team come down and answer with another three? Stauffer's been good inside, as we thought he would be. some really good role playing going on for the Warsaw Tigers, and their defensive intensity picked up in that second quarter.
Let's show you how it got to be this way tonight in eastern Elkhart County. Northridge came out smoking. Carter Stoltzfus hit the very first shot of the game in the opening seconds, and then Alex Stauffer was working on the inside. Northridge seemed to have everything dropping in that first quarter. Stoltzfus had 8 points in the stanza. When Sam Smith gets the bucket in the bump right here, it's a double-digit lead for the Raiders after 1. But in the second quarter, back come Jalen Kuhn and the Warsaw Tigers. They started to find their offensive rhythm, created some turnovers. Wyatt Amos found the range a couple of times from three-point land. He had 8 points in the first half. This was a key steal. Warsaw had a chance to take the lead with that possession. Instead, Carter Stoltzfus the steal, and then at the end of the quarter, the drive and the dish to Stauffer, which was electrifying, and Northridge leads by 7 here at the break. Pretty impressive numbers on both sides.
They really are, and Warsaw Tigers down by 7, but they hit 47% from the field. They hit 4 out of 8 from three-point land. And the free throw line here 3 out of 4, but look what Northridge did. Perfect in 5 tries from the charity stripe. 5 out of 9 from three-point land. That's 3 of the points that are different. And the field goal percentage, 57% on the rebounding. Northridge with 10, Warsaw with 4, including, 11 with 4 offensive boards, and only 2 offensive boards for Northridge. A little bit of a surprise there. Turnovers, 8 for Warsaw, 6 for Northridge, but the big number took that 57% shooting, and again, a lot of those are three-point tries.
Bo talked about tempo being a key and saying, well, if you make baskets, you can control the tempo. Northridge made baskets, they controlled the tempo, and right now they've got a 7-point lead at the intermission. 34-27 Raiders. The second half comes your way after this on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you by the electrical workers of Local 153. They're making our communities brighter. Teams getting ready for the second half here in Middlebury, so are we. Northridge leads at 34-27. Before we do, let's check in with Bo Hunt for a Bill's Heating sideline report. I just saw you were in the ear of Scott Radiker. He was in yours. What do you have to say?
Yeah, I got a little bit of chance to talk to him. He was coming out a little late, just asking for adjustments second half. Said offensively, we really got to do a better job cutting to the hole. And defensively, there towards the end, they didn't do a very good job blocking out like they did in the first quarter. And just to clarify a little bit, Clay Stoltzfus, his first foul actually wasn't a foul. They called him on the line out of bounds, so he only has 2 fouls.
That's a huge development for Northridge as far as we're concerned, because the less foul trouble the Raiders can have, the more ability they've got to rotate on their bench.
That explains, too, why Coach Radiker had him in the game when we thought he had 2 fouls already. He got his third, but he only had 1, got his second. And we're ready to go, and Northridge will have the ball to start the second half. And here to bring this one home, our Family Broadcasting Corporation Sports Director, Chuck Freebie.
Third quarter brought to you by our friends at Stutzman Power Equipment. Northridge with the ball. Sam Smith, tough angle shot, and he hit it. He was actually behind the backboard, as deep on the baseline as you can get. You'd love that one in a game of horse. He's got 13. Blake Marsh on the drive against Stauffer, and he took it right at the big man and scores his first basket of the game. Remember, Marsh is Warsaw's leading scorer at over 10 points in contest. Clay Stoltzfus on the drive, shot blocked by Bishop Walters. Here comes Warsaw on the run. Amos will give it off to Marsh for 3. It's sponsored by Grace Village Retirement Community, and they found the key to the engine of Blake Marsh.
I think maybe Dr. Ogle might have had some time with Mr. Marsh at halftime.
Meanwhile, Trevor Brown's 3 is short. Walters a rebound. The junior brings it up the court. Marsh takes it into the lane. And now sets it up for the outside. Amos for 3. That one off the mark, but Walters, the offensive putback, no good. Battle for the loose ball. Warsaw gets that one.
That's 6 offensive boards now for the Tigers.
Marsh into the land of the Giants. Held ball on the alternating possession to go to Warsaw. Great snuff by Smith. And immediately Cam Knepp comes in because Northridge has to find a way to get some rebounds.
That number a little surprising, as I said during the halftime stats.
Adamek scores off the inbounds pass. How many times have we seen Doug Ogle teams able to do that?
Now Steve Austin, in his tenure as the head coach in the area, said nobody has better inbounds plays than Warsaw.
Knepp steps out of bounds after the missed shot by Carter Stoltzfus. And lo and behold, just like that, here's Warsaw with a chance to tie or take the lead.
They were down in double figures in the first quarter, came back to close it down to 1, and here they are with another big comeback.
They ran Marsh on a little loop off the low block to get the ball. Now Adamek works on Stauffer, and Stauffer won that matchup. Smith goes behind the back to shed a defender. And then Clay Stoltzfus for 3. It won't go.
Another Warsaw rebound. They lead the rebounding stats 13-11.
Marsh directs traffic. Kuhn, dangerous three-point shooter. Nearly a steal. Instead, Adamek found Walters underneath. His shot blocked by Smith. Defense is tightening up here in the last few possessions.
Adamek 3 out of 5 from the field. Both times when he hasn't made it, it's because of the defense of Northridge.
Clay Stoltzfus for Stauffer, but he wasn't quite ready for the pass.
Turnover number 8 now for Northridge. That stat has evened up.
Warsaw has come out with energy here in the second half. Marsh has been the one to light it. And a 5-second call as Marsh was closely guarded and did not make enough penetration for the liking of Victor Canales.
And not to the liking of Doug Ogle, who I don't think liked the call very much, but officials were right on. His crew's doing a nice job tonight.
So Doug Ogle will go to his bench again and put in Connor Lennox for the first time tonight, a 6'4" senior.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies is celebrating 60 years as the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. 60 years of serving the automotive, medical, aerospace, and military and defense industries. Go to iftworldwide.com for more information. Like the teams in tonight's game, they're working toward a great finish.
Jalen Kuhn is suffering from a bloody nose. He has come down to see the trainer right underneath our broadcast position. So he's out of the game, and one of the reasons that Lennox is in there now.
We said depth would be important in this game tonight. Advantage might have been to Warsaw.
And the drive and the layup by Carter Stoltzfus, who now has 15.
I love it. If you're a scorer, you love to make the threes, and he has 3 of those tonight, but he's also had 3 two-point baskets.
Marsh puts it up, but no good. Stauffer worked hard to get the rebound.
It should be worth at least 1 point. It was in there for a while.
Smith with the quick trigger. Couldn't get that one to drop. Walters has had a very successful third quarter on defense and rebounding. And now he'll try his luck at a 3. Couldn't get it to go. Battle for the loose ball goes out of bounds off Stauffer.
Our thanks to the team from St. Andrews Products for making our crew look good tonight. They can do the same for your school or corporation. Call them at 800-628-9922, or you can email them at sales@standrewscorp.com. Your expectations become our standards, and our answer is always yes. Now, what's the question?
Adamek, Poe, and Bergen all check back in for Warsaw. As Doug Ogle continues to try to wear down this Northridge team. Marsh inside, working against Stauffer. Adamek works his way down low, up and under, and got it to go. Luke Adamek now with 8. Back to a 2-point game.
They are willing to go in and battle against Stouffer.
Smith on the give and go, and that was pretty to Stauffer. That was just a textbook pick and roll right there.
Done that a couple times tonight. Well executed.
Adamek down on the block. Great pass underneath. Poe couldn't get it to go. Rebound comes off to Northridge. Raiders on the run. Smith, pull up three, tried to buy the call. Didn't get one.
Smith now 2 out of 5 from three-point range on the night.
Amos at the other end. He's short on the three. Stauffer gets the rebound. Scott Radiker still in the ear of the officials over the non-call against Smith. Meanwhile, Stauffer working on Larsh down low. Bergen trying to help out. They work it around the net for three. Couldn't get it to go. One-hand rebound, Stoltzfus. Smith for three. It's sponsored by the Essen House. Timeout for Doug Ogle and the Tigers. It's sponsored by the Wagon Wheel Theater, and they're on their feet in Middlebury. Look at the effort by Stoltzfus, the execution by Smith, and it's the Raiders by 7 on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Bill's Heating. They're keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. Little Cotton Eye Joe. Bob's trying not to get up and dance right now.
Trying real hard not to, Chuck. Teachers Credit Union understands the importance of growing your future. Whether you're growing your family, your square footage, or your business, Teachers Credit Union is here for you with financial solutions that will help you succeed. Visit tcunet.com to start growing your future today. Federally insured by the NCUA, they are an equal housing opportunity lender and sponsor of our student athlete feature at halftime. We appreciate that.
So a 7-point Northridge lead, now full court pressure offered by the Raiders, a 2-on-2 press. Warsaw worked on extensively at practice when we were there Wednesday. And the Tigers had no problem getting the ball across. Ben Bergen working to the foul line. Adamek now goes one-on-one, and he is fouled on the way up for 2 shots.
Folks, get back in the game with South Bend Orthopedics. Team physicians for the University of Notre Dame since 1947.
The free throws in the second half for Warsaw, sponsored by Aegis Dental Group. Luke Adamek, only a 44% free throw shooter on the year, but he gets the first.
He's having himself a night.
He had a strong month of January last year, a young man that plays wide receiver and defensive back on the football team. Very good leaper. Looking for his 5th game in double figures this year, but it's not coming on that. And then Stauffer was fouled by Wyatt Amos.
Amos a little bit out of control, his 2nd foul of the night.
Actually, the 3rd on the Warsaw player.
Check out wagonwheelcenter.org for upcoming shows and summer season. Shows include The Wizard of Oz, Guys and Dolls, and much more. Go to wagonwheelcenter.org for all show and ticket information.
Raiders by 6, waning seconds of the 3rd quarter. Stoltzfus couldn't hit the 3. Bergen gets the long rebound for Warsaw. Marsh down the lane, lost the handle. And Brown comes away with it for Northridge. Clay Stoltzfus to Trevor Brown. They got Stauffer working on Adamek. Stauffer with a spin move, then a left right-hand hook that won't go. And Adamek gets the rebound.
Warsaw Tigers are able to make it a 2 or 3 point game from time to time, but haven't been able to get over the hump.
Bergen beat his man off the dribble, but missed the shot. Kuhn misses the offensive rebound. And look for Northridge to hold for 1 shot here.
Middlebury Community Schools, a top achieving school district inspiring students to change the world. Middlebury Community Schools, where achievement and innovation are hallmarks of a great education.
Only 3 Northridge players have scored tonight. Sam Smith with 16, Carter Stoltzfus with the ball with 15, Alex Stauffer with 12. And the ball lost out of bounds between the Stoltzfus brothers as the third quarter comes to the end, with Northridge trying to take sole possession. Well, at least part of the possession. First place in the NLC. They lead it by 6 on 46. This edition of the 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by Imagineering Finishing Technologies, IFT, where quality is a way of life. They've got the lightsabers out to direct the band here at Northridge tonight. It's been a war of stars down on the court. Bo Hunt's been down there, and he gives us a Bills Heating sideline report.
When you look at the game overall, and Bob brought up a good point with Warsaw, they just haven't been able to get past that when they come back, that 2 or 3 point mark to get back, get it tight, or take that lead. There in the third quarter, I think the biggest thing was when Kuhn went out with that nose injury, a little bloody nose. They got it within 2 points, but then Northridge was able to come back, and they always hit a key shot, whether it's a key three-pointer or just a key bucket and a key turnover. One big thing to look at, team fouls, only 1 apiece here in the second half. Well, now 2 for Warsaw, but look at that coming down the stretch if we have to start fouling, go to the free throw line, guys.
I think you make a good point, Bo. Both teams have room to get more aggressive defensively.
Well, and that's what they did, Warsaw did in the second quarter. Now in the fourth quarter, let's see if they don't pick it up, continue to pick up the pace.
Northridge up by 6. They come into this game with a record of 5-5, but 1-0 in the Northern Lakes Conference. They would share the lead after tonight with the winner of tonight's game between Plymouth and Elkhart Memorial. Alex Stauffer, the big fella, working down low. Luke Adamek draws the defensive assignment. So Stoltzfus buries the 3. Upside on the top side, triple sponsored by the Essen House. He has 18 tonight. That's his 4th three-pointer of the night. Adamek down low, missed the layup, and Stauffer working on the rebound is fouled by Adamek.
A little frustration foul for Adamek, second time that's happened tonight. Folks, Ruli's of Middlebury is proud to support Northridge Athletics. Ruli's is a family dining Italian-American restaurant offering a full menu including pastas, entrees, and pizza. Visit them at rulispizza.com or at either one of their 2 locations in Middlebury across from the high school or in Elkhart on County Road 17. A big thank you to Ruli's for feeding our TV crew tonight. Go Northridge Raiders from the great team at Ruli's.
Sam Smith outside to Clay Stoltzfus. Carter Stoltzfus, terrific soccer player. He's shown he's a pretty good basketball player. Stauffer going over the back of Adamek. Draws the foul there, his 2nd.
Done a good job. He got 1 early, but he's avoided foul trouble tonight. Very important for this Northridge team. One of the things, Chuck, we talked about at halftime is how much substitution Doug Ogle did in the first half and if it would have an effect. Now, we mentioned that Stauffer's only got 2 fouls, but he's going to take some bench time now as he's been in there for quite a few of the minutes.
And Blake Jacobs will come in. Jacobs, a 6'4" sophomore, only averages a half a point a game. He's in there strictly to play some defense and give Stauffer a rest. So let's see how Warsaw attacks things with Stauffer on the bench. They're down by 9.
I would look for Kuhn maybe to get active down low.
Or see if you can get Amos or Marsh active up top. Kuhn's a pretty good three-point shooter too, but they won't let him open. Adamek works down low, but missed the layup, and the rebound to Smith. And Adamek claps his hands in frustration. He's had a couple of those go against him here in the 4th. Stoltzfus for 3, ring it up. Career high 21 for Carter Stoltzfus. The three sponsored by the Essen House. And Doug Ogle has seen enough to know he's seen too much. It's sponsored by the Wagon Wheel Theater. 49-37 Northridge on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you in part by the IHSAA, partnering with TV 46 for 30 years.
Folks, getting to be that time, you can put your tax refund to good use at Southwind Flooring, the perfect foundation for your dream. See their wide selection of carpet, ceramic tile, vinyl, laminate, and hardwood flooring at their showroom in Shifshewana or online at southwindflooring.com.
Reminder, we've got more exciting high school basketball for you next week here on TV 46. We go into the Hoosier North Athletic Conference, where the Knox Redskins and LaVille Lancers may be battling for first place in that league. You'll see it Friday night at 11 and Saturday morning at 9 from Daly Cox Gymnasium in Lakeville.
Knox at the Cox should be very interesting. Great facility, looking forward to being down there. Chuck, we ought to give a big hello to all the coaches in the Northern Lakes Conference watching our broadcast tonight.
Think there might be a few?
Yeah, I think there would be.
Probably about 8. 5.5 to go. Northridge leading by 12. Down low it goes. Keegan Larsh spins and wins for 2. His first basket of the night for the 6'2 senior. 3-sport athlete at Warsaw. Full court pressure by the Tigers. They didn't want to have to go to this. Stauffer, the big fella down low, missed the bunny. And the rebound to Larsh. Outside the arc, Kuhn. Down low to Larsh. Larsh spins around. Stauffer got the bucket and the bump. Beautiful play.
Keegan Larsh didn't need to wait for an invitation to get in the scoring. He's got 4 and a chance for 5.
Catch it again on the SBO replay. Stauffer brought the hammer down on him, but Larsh is so strong it didn't matter. 3 fouls now on Stauffer. Free throw sponsored by Aegis Dental Group is good.
Where you been, Keegan?
7-point ball game. Warsaw will not go away. Here's Clay Stoltzfus. Back to his brother Carter. Smith will try to calm it down for Northridge. Cam Knepp down the baseline. It was a difficult position to be in, and he turns it over. Amos, though, threw it too far for Bishop Walters.
Folks, Stutzman Power Equipment, where you can get the tools and equipment for all your outdoor needs. Specializing in Kubota, Steel, Toro, Simplicity, and Skag. Stutzman Power Equipment, where service is their #1 product. Check them out online at stutzmanpower.com. Proud to support high school athletics.
Northridge able to break the press without the ball touching the floor. Raiders moving the ball well here in the passing game. Smith gets a screen from Stauffer, takes it up, and gets the bucket and the bump.
Another example of a scorer. He made just 1 out of his last 4 3-point shots. Took it inside, made a nice left-handed layup.
Larsh called for the foul. Sam Smith goes to the line. Free throw sponsored by the Mustard Seed Marketplace. 19 now for Sammy. Member of the All-Noblesville tournament team. And the Raider lead back to 10.
Knapp and Brown have both taken a couple of shots but haven't scored. Other than that, it's a 3-man game.
And that's been enough for Northridge tonight. Walters for 3. Bishop Walters now with 8. And we're seeing another example of the good balance on this Warsaw team. But will it be enough tonight? Stauffer working on Larsh. They'll try it again. And Stauffer got mugged by Larsh.
Keegan very active here in his last few minutes of the ball game.
I mean, he was draped on him like something that you wouldn't get from St. Andrews Products.
You got that right. Folks, visit Market at the Mill in Middlebury, Indiana, situated in a quaint old mill. Joyfully set home, the Mustard Seed Marketplace, and Objects Antiques are stocked with handcrafted wood signs, modern farmhouse decor, jewelry, apparel, antiques, and more. Stop by the mill and shop our latest finds and our new arrivals.
After Stauffer took what was perhaps an ill-advised three, Marsh misses a three. Here comes Stauffer the other way. In the corner is Knepp. He missed, but Stauffer got the rebound and was hacked by Marsh.
Stauffer got the rebound, but Chuck, I'm looking at his gauge. I think he's not empty, but he's getting close. He's been up and down that floor. He's a big man.
And that was one of the things Warsaw thought they could do, is maybe wear him down a little bit. Free throw sponsored by the Mustard Seed Marketplace. Stauffer, an 82% foul shooter on the year, hits the first. He has 13 points tonight.
Folks, think Pyramid Equipment for your snowplow needs, sales, services, and installations of residential and commercial grade snowplows, parts, and salt spreaders. Pyramid offers military, police, and firemen's discounts. Find us at PyramidEquipmentInc.com.
Stauffer 1 for 2. Warsaw gets the rebound. 2:51 and counting in this one. Tigers trail by 8. See if they can maximize a couple of possessions here and get back in it. Marsh, a step back three. That's sponsored by Grace Village Retirement Community. Blake Marsh with 8. It's back to a 5-point game, kids.
Warsaw 4 out of 6 here in the fourth quarter.
Stoltzfus with the answer, not that time. And Amos the rebound. And the Tigers feeling the momentum right now. Marsh again. 2-point game. Timeout, Northridge. It's sponsored by Stutzman Power Equipment. Blake Marsh always lights it up on 46. It doesn't matter if it's football or basketball.
He hit a couple of big baskets right there. Folks, for 60 years, Imagineering Finishing Technologies has been the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. They set the standard for industries, including automotive, medical, aerospace, and military defense. Go to IFTworldwide.com for more information. IFT has earned national accreditation and worldwide respect. Like the teams in tonight's game, we're working toward a great finish. And we've got one.
Blake Marsh with back-to-back threes. Bo Hunt with a Bills hitting sideline report. You saw this kid a couple of times in football. You stood there with me at Northside Gym last year, watched him hit a game-winning shot in the sectional. What is it about him that makes him so dangerous?
I think the biggest thing is there's no fear out there, and he just plays with so much confidence on the football field, on the basketball court. Both, there's just the knowledge and the understanding of the game that there's going to be some ups and some downs, and he wants the ball in his hand, and anytime there's a pressure situation, as you can see, last 2 times down, he wasn't afraid. Give me that ball, I'm ready to go. He's only hit 4 threes on the year. He's already got 3 tonight.
Marsh had no points in the first half. He had 5 going into the last 2 possessions for Warsaw. Now he's got 11.
And his ability to shoot with those eyes, you know, he's not worried about anything. He's taking his shot because he thinks he can make it. And so far tonight, he's had a bunch.
Stauffer banging against Adamek, and then he's fouled. I think they might call it on Walters from behind. We'll see. Nope, it'll be on Adamek, his 3rd.
Boy, Adamek, if he hadn't lettered already, would be lettering tonight. Just going against Sofer inside.
Alex Stauffer loves to shoe shop. 36 different pairs of shoes is what he estimates he has.
At 16 and a half, anybody need a pair of shoes?
A lot of leather being used there. Misses the first. Also loves to go fishing. Likes to go up to White Pigeon. Fish for some bass, bluegill, maybe some crappie sometime. Hits the second. So he got something to bite that time. It's a 3-point game with 1:56 to go in regulation.
Comes down to a one-possession game now. Warsaw could hit a three. We'd be knotted up.
Pretty much what we expected between these two. Smith with the steal. And a beautiful pass ahead for Stoltzfus for two.
What a play by Smith.
Meanwhile, at the other end, Warsaw not out of this yet, only trailing by 5. Marsh, there was contact before the shot. And Northridge has fouls to give. They've only got 3 as a team. But take a look real quick at the steal here by Smith. And this beautiful pass that he loops ahead to Stoltzfus.
And Stoltzfus got loose. He took off, and Smith read the setup well as you can.
Walters bombs from 3, can't hit. The rebound to Amos. Walters again from 3, will not go. And this time Stauffer gets the rebound and uses that big body to protect the ball. He must have a double-double going tonight.
Warsaw needs some stops.
And Northridge gets a timeout. We'll keep it here. The timeout sponsored by Stutzman Power Equipment.
A big thank you goes out to St. Andrews Products. They've joined our team with the finest in promotional products, advertising specialties, business gifts, and apparel. Call their number at 800-628-9922 or check the email at sales@standrewscorp.com. Your expectations become our standards, and our answer is always yes. Now, what's the question?
Set your alarm clocks for noon, Saturday and Sunday, because that's when Big Ten action comes your way on 103.1 FM. Saturday, Ohio State goes into the Assembly Hall in Bloomington and takes on Archie Miller and the Hoosiers. And then on Sunday, Tom Izzo and the Michigan State Spartans, ranked number 8 in the nation, go into West Lafayette Mackey Arena, where they'll be wacky at Mackey and take on Matt Painter of the Boilermakers. Big Ten action comes your way on 103.1 FM.
Purdue can sure use a big win. They've played well but struggled 2 of their last 3 games, so they need a big win.
Man, what a performance Travion Williams put on last night. 36 points, 20 rebounds, and they still took an L. Here it's Northridge by 5 with under a minute to go. Raiders trying to play keep away. Cam Knepp. And he was fouled from behind. Warsaw wants to send Knepp to the line, but he is an 88% free throw shooter.
I'm thinking that Stauffer might be the one you want to foul. He's 2 out of his last 4.
Or Clay Stoltzfus, who's only a 39% foul shooter. Knepp has not scored tonight. Pitcher and shortstop on the baseball team. He has 5 games in double figures this season. The 6'3" senior misses the first, and here's a Marsh with the rebound. Kuhn thought about the step back 3, instead goes inside. Adamek lost the handle, puts it up and in. Adamek now in double figures with 11, 3-point game. And nearly a steal by Warsaw. It's knocked out of bounds.
Well, what a ball game this has turned out to be, as we thought it would be. Classic NLC matchup.
And now Warsaw will take the timeout. It's sponsored by the Wagon Wheel Theater. Reminder, our 4th quarter tonight sponsored by Stutzman Power Equipment.
I'm thinking Doug Ogle and his staff are looking at the stat sheet, trying to figure out maybe who to foul. But, you know, it was Knepp who missed the last one. Stauffer's 2 out of his last 4. Opportunities there.
Well, my partner has a busy weekend. He had a game last night. He has a game tonight. He has a game Sunday afternoon as the Fighting Irish women take on the Wolfpack of North Carolina State at the Purcell Pavilion at the University of Notre Dame. You can hear Bob's call, 92.1, 96.9, and 103.1 on Sunday afternoon at
4. Well, we're looking forward to it. Notre Dame women's basketball team struggling at 6-10, but one of these nights they're going to hit on all cylinders, and would love to do it against North Carolina State, a team ranked in the top 5, even though they lost their first game of the season last night, as North Carolina knocked them off 66-60. And so I'm sure a lot of people down there wearing the powder blue are pretty happy.
How about UConn losing to Baylor last night at home?
By 16.
Meanwhile, a foul on the inbounds pass is Wyatt Amos with the shove. Will send Sam Smith to the foul line. And Smith, a 75% free throw shooter, has not missed from the stripe tonight. Fourth foul on Amos. Take a look at Smith. Young man who loves to draw. Well, he could just about pencil Northridge into the win column here with a couple of free throws. One in the bonus. Yep. Smith with 20 tonight. His 9th game in double figures this season.
Well, if he scores 2 and you score 3, you can still be in the game here with 19 seconds to go.
58-53. The Raiders on top. Warsaw needs a quick trigger here. Marsh pulls it. Can't hit it. Out of bounds to Northridge. And the celebration is on in Middlebury.
Marsh had made 3 3-pointers here in the second half. Came up short on that one, but pretty good defense. And you're down to 8 seconds to go. You got to throw it up there, and he did.
The Northridge Raiders will go to 6-5 overall, but 2-0 in the Northern Lakes Conference. Marsh with the foul of Carter Stoltzfus, who will have a chance to add to his career-high scoring total tonight. Free throw sponsored by the Mustard Seed Marketplace.
I think that has earned him a chance to talk to Bo Hunt after the game tonight. And Doug Ogle was right. He was very concerned about Stoltzfus and what he could lend to this team at Northridge, and they really needed him tonight.
That's about the first thing that Carter Stoltzfus has missed tonight. Apparently the clock started a little too soon. 7.4 seconds left in this one. Carter with 24 tonight to lead all scorers. Warsaw will hustle down the court. Ben Bergen can't hit that three. The tip by Kuhn at the buzzer, it counts, but it is not enough. The Northridge Raiders celebrate knocking off the Warsaw Tigers tonight by a final score of 59-55. And when we come back, we'll have our Middlebury Community Schools post-game show, including our IU South Bend Fulfilling the Promise Player of the Game and our electrifying play of the game from IBEW Local 153. It all comes your way next on the 46 Game of the Week.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV 46 High School Game of the Week, brought to you by
The celebration ensues here in Middlebury, where the homestanding Northridge Raiders knock off the Warsaw Tigers tonight 59-55 to go 2-0 in Northern Lakes Conference play. Still a lot of action to be played in the NLC this year, but one thing's for sure, Northridge has started off strong in the race, and they looked very strong here tonight against a game effort from Warsaw.
They really did, and they had enough depth, and they even, we found out that Knepp wasn't feeling well at halftime, and yet he was able to come in and do some good things. This was everything that Northridge needed tonight to get this win, 3 players scoring. Warsaw made a great effort. Twice they got in big holes and came back, got it down to 2, and what a great game. This is, you know, we were out for 2 weeks around the holidays, hoping for a little prime rib when we came back. It was terrific tonight.
Yeah, this was a great ball game, and it required somebody having a career night to win it, help win it for Northridge. He is standing by now with Bo Hunt. Carter Stoltzfus is our IU South Bend Fulfilling the Promise Player of the Game.
Standing by with our player of the game, Carter Stoltzfus. Number 12, you scored double that, 24 points, career high. Just talk about this victory tonight.
It was a big one. We got it in the sectional championship last year, but we wanted it from the game before last year, from the regular season. We wanted it back, and we got it. We played well.
You, Sam Smith, Alex underneath, just you guys did a great job. Only 3 of you guys in the scorebooks. Talk about the diversity of your team and being able to only do it with 3 people out there.
Yeah, well, some of our guys didn't hit shots, but they do all the other little things well. Cam Neff wasn't feeling very well at halftime. He gutted through it, and we got the win.
Go to 2-0 in the conference. How important was a victory over this very talented Warsaw team?
Very important. You got to beat Warsaw to win the conference. It's one of the main things you got to do. And we did that, and then we got Northwood next week on Friday.
Hey, congratulations. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Bo. Boy, it was tough to pick out just one electrifying play of the game. But there was one play late in this contest where defense became offense in a hurry, and it really helped quell the momentum for Northridge down the stretch.
And you could talk about Sam Smith being over 20 points tonight, but this by far was one of the best plays of the game. Watch the pass ahead. Dolphus took off, and he got to the basket, put it up and in. 2-point game goes to 4, and that's as close as Warsaw would get.
Great camera work by our 46 crew, capturing all the moments tonight, including our electrifying play of the game from the electrical workers of Local 153. So as we mentioned, Northridge 2-0, but they've got to go to Northwood next Friday night. It's not easy in this league. Warsaw returns home to take on the Goshen Redhawks, and we will head on into the Hoosier North Athletic Conference next week for a huge battle between Knox and LaVille.
Looking for a good one between the Lancers and the Redskins, and it's always fun to be down there at Dale E. Cox Gymnasium because they do such a great job running the game, all the extras that go with it, and looking forward to it.
Rob Kruger and Michael Edison have good teams. We look forward to seeing them. And our thanks to our TV 46 crew who had to battle the elements again tonight to get this one set up. Led by our production manager, Dean Korsmo, Tony Beltran, doing all the bells and whistles in the truck tonight. Double duty on the audio with Tom and Jed and the rest of our talented crew that brings you high school football and basketball each and every Friday from August all the way through March. A reminder, college basketball on the radio this weekend. Saturday at noon, it's Ohio State and Indiana on 103.1. Sunday at noon, Michigan State at Purdue on 103.1, and on all three of our pulse frequencies on Sunday at 4, it's North Carolina State and Notre Dame. Now for my Hall of Fame partners, Bob Nagel and Bo Hunt, it's Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final score, Northridge 59, Warsaw 55. So long from the middle of Middlebury.